Here's our finished triptych, and a triptych is it's a picture that's been broken up into 3 roughly equal parts. So this is what we're going to end up with. And remember, it doesn't have to be laid out exactly the same way. You know, here's over the side. I talk you through squares, but you might want rectangles, but you might want elliptical marquee, for instance, and get different shapes going. So there's 2 to do. Just use the same effect. It's called triptych. Okay. And here's the picture that I'm going to use. Nice. This one's big. It's nice and big if you use this one. This is only 50%, so obviously it's actually Control plus, Control plus. It's a good bit bigger. So something nice and big. But it's kind of blah. You know, you've got this boat here. There's a huge expanse of sky in the background, and the triptych effect makes it stand out. So this is what we do. We're going to break the image into 3 equal parts. Go up to View, and then you want to make sure that the rulers, Control R, are showing. I'm going to pull this down so that we can see it a bit better. Okay, and then go up to View again and make sure that you click on Snap. Alright, so that the rulers will snap to the grid. Now, we're going to take the rectangular marquee tool or the elliptical marquee tool, whatever you want, and draw 1/3 of the selection. Roughly, I'm eyeballing it, alright? Where do you think? That about it? 1, 2, 3? Yeah. Okay. Now, quick mask or press Q on the keyboard, and the red is shielded. What we're working on is the color. Now we're going to drag the ruler. Watch what I do. I go inside the ruler and I drag. I'm holding the mouse and I go down to the very bottom, and it will snap to the bottom of that picture. Then I go back up. See, from here changes from a hair cross. Once it's white, click on the ruler, drag down to the top. So now we have 2, top and bottom. Okay. Now then, we're going to right click, and we're going to load or reselect. Either of them works. And then we're going to go up to Edit, Free Transform, or Control T on the keyboard. Now, watch this. When you've got the black arrow, click with the mouse and drag the second selection over, and I'm trying to space them so that there's roughly room. Okay, and then double click to apply that. Alright, and then you can do the same thing again, or you can do Alt Control Shift T, and that puts the 3rd selection in. That was Alt Control Shift T to reapply that 3rd selection. Alrighty. And then we're going to click over here, or Q on your keyboard. Okay. And we're going to reselect. See, we've got all 3 of them now. 1, 2, 3 are all selected. And then we're going to paste onto a new layer. Control J. And there's our new layer. So I turn this off, and you can see you've got the beginnings underneath. So that was Control J. Okay. I'm working on the background now. And in fact, I'm going to go View, Rulers, View, Clear Guides. Don't need to see them anymore. Now, I'm going to go up to Image, Adjust, and Desaturate, or Control Shift U, if you can ever remember all of these. Okay, so that took the color out. Then we go back to layer 1. Okay, and we're going to put a drop shadow. So to put the drop shadow, can you see this? I'm going to move this up. I'm not sure how far out you are. There. This is my drop shadow. These are the blending options. Click, and I'm going to put a drop shadow directly behind. And you can sort of fussle about with these. The further away you take it, you know, play around. You don't have to follow me. Basically do what you want. I'm going to go for normal. my opacity is going to be 100, and my size is going to be 59. Okay, it's going behind there. And position, stroke. Click on stroke now. Default is red. Yuck, yuck, yuck. We do not want red. We want a sort of an off-white kind of color. Or, you know, even the color of the clouds would have done as well. That would be nice. It's always nice to pick a color that's already in your picture, you know. There we are. And make sure that the blend position mode is in the inside, and that way you can make these as big as you like, see? And it goes inside. If you go outside, it's more of a curved effect. That looks okay. We done? We are happy. So now get the move tool, okay, and then nudge. Make sure you're on layer 1. And then we use the arrow keys and nudge them into shape. The 3 will move together. I'm just trying to eyeball left and right, roughly. Okie dokie. And then I go back to the background layer, and I'm going to create a new adjustment layer, which is this. Click. And I want to go down to hue and saturation. And when you click colorize, and then you can play around with all the hues. It's really up to you what effect you want. So I did this earlier and I got these numbers, but every time you do it, it's different. That looks a bit on the light side, doesn't it? I'm going to turn it down. Anyway, you play around with that, and then okay. Then I'm going to, just to finish it off, I'm going to put a stroke around this. And what I have to do right now, it's locked, so I double click, and then I click OK, and now it's not locked anymore. So now I can apply a stroke, and I'm just going to use the same one as I've got here. Okay, and mine this time is going to be, I think it's center works best. Yeah, you can just see it coming in. At this point, you know, you can play around. I mean, we're looking for a kind of a gallery effect. If you had a photo that you wanted to mount, and there's no right or wrong. Well, don't make it too big though, huh? And then OK. And that's our effect. How easy is that? 2 of these to do, folks.